I think it's a revolution within the fashion industry that's happening, and I think it's really, really long overdue.
Welcome back to Heja Framtiden, the Swedish podcast on the future. My name is Christian von Essen. I'm here today at KTH Innovation at Kungliga Tekniska Högskolan, KTH in Stockholm, on the Sustainable Fashion Day. I'm sitting here with Richard Toon. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Nice to be here. Hello, Heja Framtiden.
You just recently left a long career as a fashion designer in the fashion industry. You've been working with Gant for quite a few years. Why did you leave to join a fashion tech startup now?
So for me, I think like almost 20-year career in working with fashion was a really rewarding career along the way. But in the back of my mind from very early on, there was this like nagging doubt and like a dark cloud of how much we produce and how much we consume and how much we wear and how quickly we do that. And that was something that was always in the back of my mind when I was designing. And I was very conscious of this and really wanted to design for change and, design in a very sustainable and thoughtful way and use innovation and these types of things to improve things. But unfortunately, it's not always the case that you can do that within a business setting. Costs need to be cut. There's deadlines, timelines, there's demands from customers, all these different types of things. So I made a conscious decision to go and do something else and to basically co-found a fashion innovation startup where we worked on lots of different fashion sustainability innovations, where basically one moment in time we had a very clear product that was going to be the future of what we were going to do for the next few years.
How did you stumble upon this innovation that you have developed now?
So I met my co-founder Wadji. We both met at Gant. We were both working separately and together, working on different innovation projects for the company, and also developing textiles and designing collections and these types of things. And very early on when we met, we started to have lots of conversations about different scenarios, different situations and things that we could potentially do or bring to market and this type of thing. At some point in time, we spoke about the idea of like slow fashion or like longevity in fashion, which is what the company that we were working for wanted to work towards and wanted its customers to understand, but we saw it wasn't really a priority. And this became like a driving factor from what we were doing, where sustainability and making this type of thing appeal to people became a really big thing for us. Some point in the conversation, Wadji, who had started having a lot of ideas around recycling of textiles back in 2016 when he was studying his master's in Borås in textile sciences, he started to think about the idea that recycling is very far down the kind of like the route of where clothes can go to, and wanted to do something before that would prevent recycling, because whatever you recycle, it's a very positive step, but you're not going to get out as high quality, high grade goods as what you've initially put in to be recycled. So he had this idea of pre-recycling. How could you restore or renew or revive garments in a good way? Fast forward to 2018, YG and I were having conversations we were having about the day job as we did, and he threw a piece of textiles onto the table at me and said, "Explain this to me, what is it?" And it was a piece of knitwear, and I said, "It's a piece of knitwear, it's in cotton, it's got this type of rib, it's this type of knit, this type of dye, blah, 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 blah," all the technical terms that we know and understand. And I said, "But it looks like crap. I can't work with this is shit." Came back to me the next day, threw another piece of textiles on the table at me and said, "What's this?" And I said, "Well, it's what you showed me yesterday, but it's brand new." And then I was like confused. I didn't know what it was. And I was like, "Is this a different sample from the supplier? Or you found something different in the box? Or what is this?" And then he threw the original piece he showed to me and said, "The piece that I've just put in front of you now today was the same piece yesterday, but it's been washed one time with a product that I've been working on." And at that point, the hairs in the back of my neck stood up, and it was like, okay, this is clear. This is what we need to do. We need to bring this to reality and bring this to life. And that's basically how we started on this journey.
The product is called BioRestore.
Yep.
And is it being sold already in retailers now?
So yeah, it's called BioRestore. It's not being sold directly to retailers at the moment, but we're launching a Kickstarter on April 19th. And the reason for doing that is that on Kickstarter, there's lots of early adopters into tech, into different science type products, and very passionate people about product that almost become evangelists when they find something good. And we want to test the product on that market, because then we have direct feedback, and also we then get to stress test everything within our product. So are the instructions clear? Does the marketing messages work? Are we pricing it right? All these different things. We can test it in a kind of an enclosed but very dedicated group of people before we can then roll it out to the general supermarkets and all the different types of stores you can think of.
So basically it's a washing detergent for restoring old clothes. How would you explain that it works, really?
Okay, so one thing that we differ from is that we're not a detergent. We're marketing and we're calling the product a returgent, which is a new word or a new product category we want to bring to the market. Returgent being obviously taken from the word detergent, but taken from revive, refresh, and renew. And I think that's a really important distinction to make. And the reason why we're not called a detergent is because the product doesn't clean in the same way that a soap does. It's a different chemical process. So it's not a classic detergent in that sense. But the benefit of the product is that in the process of using BioRestore, just by the fact that a lot of the surface damage and different damage to the garment gets removed, that's also holding a lot of dirt within the garment. So we can't say for sure, kind of like legally it's a detergent, but it has a very strong cleaning effect on like light, everyday stains, let's say. When it comes to the science and how it works, basically it's a very minimal blend of enzymes and natural salts that basically work in combination within a physical chemical reaction within the process of a laundry. And you do this at home in the home laundry. And the process is basically select the garments, separate your colors, add BioRestore to the wash with the garments in BioRestore at 40 degrees. And then when it's done, if you want to, you can tumble dry, or if you prefer to, you can give it a light rinse wash with a regular detergent just to freshen it up and finish it off. And then basically once it's dried, the garment's ready to go. We've spent a long time developing this as a really easy home use solution. So we say, you wake up on a Saturday morning, it's like, oh God, I've got to do the laundry. It should be as simple as throwing something in the laundry, not anything more complicated than that.
And you even built up a small clothing hill here at the KTH Innovation. And you can really see when you compare the different garments that you have brought, you can see the colors popping. You can see the texture is more smooth when we used BioRestore. You claim that you can double the lifetime of an apparel, and which saves a lot of energy and climate emissions and water consumption, really. Is that something that, I mean, I would assume there's a lot of interest in this from the industry.
Yeah, we've been approached by lots of different interested parties, from retailers, sustainability advocates. It's been a really interesting mix of people that have contacted us. What's really great about the product is if you compare our product's one-time use in the home laundry on a t-shirt that you already own compared to buying a new t-shirt. If you go into a store today and buy a new t-shirt, it's used approximately 3,500 litres of water from growing the materials to producing it to end washing through the whole cycle. With one use of BioRestore, for one garment out of a load of 8 to 10 garments, you're looking at about 10 litres of water. So you're saving, on average, 3,490 litres of water in comparison of buying a new t-shirt. And for us, it makes it so clear and so obvious. If that's just the water, There's similar things with CO2, with all the different fossil fuels, all these different materials that go into making and producing textiles and garments, which is a huge chain of different products and things that need to be involved.
And it was announced today that you were one of 5 winners in the Global Change Award from H&M Foundation. And you will receive cash, 200,000 euros. And you will be participating in their accelerator program. Is that correct? What would that entail for you?
Yeah, so basically we're gonna be part of the H&M's Foundation Accelerator Program, which is with various different industry partners, and it's a really great opportunity for us to basically use all of the knowledge that the whole H&M group and H&M Foundation have, and to tap into that knowledge as and when and where and how we need it to basically build the brand and to get the product out to end consumers. So for us, it's a really amazing opportunity to grow the brand and to grow the knowledge within the brand as well.
And you said you've been in this industry for about 20 years. Do you see things happening now in a positive direction?
100%. I think it's really interesting. There's a whole movement within the fashion industry. I think the fashion industry's really realised, okay, we've created a lot of stuff, a lot of problems and issues that need to be solved. And it's in a push and pull, because also you've got the push from the consumers who are becoming much more engaged, aware, informed, enlightened and knowledgeable. And they're really starting to demand a lot more things from the big players in the fashion industry and the fashion market, even down to the very small players, the one-man band that have got a very small label making really niche products. I think we're in this moment. It's like, I think it's a revolution within the fashion industry that's happening. And I think it's really, really long overdue.
Great. Thank you so much, Richard Toon, for joining here from Toon.
Thank you.
And biorestore.
Biorestore.com, and we can share a link to the Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah, sure. April 19th.
April 19th.
Great. That's all for now from KTH Innovation and Sustainable Fashion Day here in Stockholm. My name is Christian von Essen. Thank you so much for listening. Check out hejaframtiden.se for more information about this podcast and my other projects.